Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Wait, not blow out the mic as everyone's doing well. It is Sunday, November 23rd. Oh my god. Hey, Stardust. I hope you're doing well, Stardust. It's Sunday. It's a nice day, right? It's a nice day out here in Southern California. Specifically not Los Angeles. What am I, Hassan? The Inland Empire, the IE. Sorry. What do you guys think of the music? It's like English Euro music, Euro dance music. Okay. Let's get started here. Okay. Welcome into Inland Empire Political News. I am your host, Angelina Tucci. It is November 23rd, 2025. We have quite a few things to go over today. First and foremost, we're going to cover something that we didn't hit last time, which was the Dana Williamson drama. You'll find out all about that in just a second. We're also going to talk about the LA mayoral race. We have some interesting candidates coming into the ring. We also will be talking about update on Celeste Rivas. That was the poor girl who was found dead in rapper / singer David, whatever the heck his last name is, I don't remember. She was found in his Tesla that was impounded, and we still don't know what happened, who murdered her, who did that to her. So there's some updates there. Also, we have more coverage of my school. I hate to say it, but it's a CSU centric school. I mean, a broadcast here, because that's where I go every day. And then finally, we have some interesting, weird neighborhood drama that we will get to later on the broadcast. But with it's holiday season, and people are being weird at other people's doorsteps and taking packages, leaving packages. It's some weird stuff, so we'll look into that later in the broadcast. But I hope everyone's having a good one, and welcome in. Let's get started here. Max screen. Okay. So I guess first and foremost, let's get into this Dana Williamson thing. Shout out to Alex Michelson. He's on KTLA, I think. Or he's on a couple of hey, DV8, welcome back to the broadcast. Hope you are doing well. Welcome in. We are going over the news for this week. So, if you have any stories that you'd like to share, drop some links in the chat. But right now, we're gonna be going over some state news.
Governor Newsom's former chief of staff, Dana Williamson, has been indicted. She accused of helping to run a scheme to steal campaign money from former HHS Secretary Javier Becerra, who is himself now a candidate for governor. Now, Williamson previously worked as a top aide for former governors Gray Davis and Jerry Brown, and led Newsom's office in 2023 and 2024. The feds allege that Williamson and Sean McCluskey, who was Becerra's chief of staff, set up a system to take money raised by Becerra, put into a dormant campaign account, and funnel it to McCluskey. talking about $225,000 over a period of more than 2 years.
Dang.
McCluskey signed a plea deal on October 30th. Williamson is also charged with falsifying business contracts related to Paycheck Protection Program loans back during COVID and filing fraudulent tax forms for her business. In total, 23 charges, potential for 20 years behind bars for Williamson. Becerra and Newsom are not implicated in any criminal wrongdoing here. Becerra says this whole thing is a gut punch. Newsom's team reiterating that Williamson not a part of their operation anymore. In fact, Politico's Melanie Mason reports that he put her on leave last year when he found out about this investigation. So this investigation actually began under the Biden DOJ, and it continues now with the Trump DOJ prosecuting a woman who was once one of the most important power brokers in all of California. Breaking news, Governor Newsom's former chief of staff, Dana Williamson, has been indicted.
So this lady, Dana Williamson, let me pull up the Political article because that gives all the details. But yeah, this woman who used to be, heavily involved in politics, turns out to be corrupt. Who could have thought? Who could have thought that, someone who's surrounded by money all day, who has, doing these campaigns, and it's the perfect mix of politics and government, and yeah, it was okay. Let's read the actual story. My bad. Trying to get my mic good here. Hold on. We're getting there. Okay. No. I'm sorry. I always have busted. There we go. Okay. Busted boomer broadcast here, but I hope everyone is cool with that. We're working towards getting better. All right. So like Alex cited Melanie Mason, this is the article on Dana Williamson. Okay. Governor Gavin Newsom put his former chief on leave when he learned a year ago that she was under criminal investigation, according to his office. Dana Williamson, who was indicted on public corruption charges Wednesday, was interviewed by the FBI in November 2024, while still working as Newsom's top aide. She left the governor's office a month later, aka he put her on leave. At the time, Williamson was hailed by her allies as the governor's political assassin. See, that's not... that someone with that title is going to come with a price, There's nothing ever good that comes from having the title assassin in your name, So at the time, Williamson was hailed by her allies. Yes, true that. Thank you, Marcella. Williamson was hailed by her allies as the governor's political assassin in the state capitol for her bare-knuckled approach. In a send-off statement, Newsom lauded her insight, tenacity, and big heart. Newsom had known for a month that Williamson had been questioned by the FBI. When she informed him in November, he immediately placed her on leave, and she officially left the administration in December. The indictment alleges that Williamson made multiple false statements in her interview with the feds, an act that is among one of 23 charges she now faces. Wow. She pleaded not guilty on Wednesday to all charges, which include conspiracy to commit wire fraud and bank fraud. Wow. Williamson is accused, along with two other Californian consultants, of fraudulently transferring money from a dormant campaign account belonging to Javier Becerra, now a gubernatorial candidate. Oh, wait. Williamson is accused, along with two other Californian consultants, of fraud. Okay, so they took campaign money from Javier Becerra, or at least old campaign money. Whatever he was running for, I don't know. The indictment alleges Williamson and a former Becerra aide led Becerra to believe the money was being used for campaign consulting expenses. In a statement, Becerra called the formal charges a gut punch and said he had voluntarily cooperated with the investigation. Two other consultants, Greg Campbell and Sean McCluskey, entered plea agreements last week, which they agreed to pay $225,000 in restitutions. That's crazy. I guess that's it. Yeah, so not a good sign that this lady was in their campaigns, but I am like kind of covering it to point out that, you know, at least they took appropriate action to get rid of her, or to at least back away from her. Not saying that, you know, Javier Becerra, who's running for governor, or Gavin Newsom, who I'm pretty sure he said he's running for president. Like, I'm pretty sure. I think, yeah, he confirmed. Yeah, that's right. We covered it on this broadcast. I'm dumb. When he did that little petty thing to his ex, you know, where he said the best is yet to come. That was him announcing his presidency, or run for presidency. So yeah, it seems like, and I don't know, chat, you'll have to tell me. This recent election was definitely a blue wave, right? Or at least there's no denying that Democrats did good because Trump is president right now, right? So we will see what the next, you know, elections are going to look like. You know, like I said, we have the 2026 Los Angeles mayoral race. We'll get into that next probably. What other races do? Oh, the governor race in 26. I don't know if there's anything in 27, but then in 2028, that's the presidential election. So we'll see. We'll see if the next two elections, if they do swap back and forth between Democrats and Republicans. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. All right, let's get into this LA mayor race. Okay. So she's challenging Bass from the left, and we all know Bass is Mayor Karen Bass. Could she become LA's Mamdani? And I definitely want to talk about this because if y'all haven't seen, socialist Mamdani met up with Donald Trump, and I think it surprised everyone, right? Flanking from the left, that's right. Yeah, so it's really strange. I mean, oh, you know what, CBS? Okay, there we go. We got through the CBS paywall. Here, let's see what this guy's saying. Ooh.
One native-born, one an immigrant, one a conservative Republican, the other a Democratic socialist. The president has called the mayor-elect a communist lunatic. Mamdani has called the president a despot with a fascist agenda. And when they met at the White House today, they found common ground, the city they both love. Nancy Cordes is at the White House, where it was a love fest. Nancy?
Maurice, these two men have been publicly at odds over everything from ICE raids to taxes. And so today, both New York and Washington were braced for an Oval Office slugfest. Yeah. Instead, we got the opposite.
Yeah, it was a love fest.
Congratulations, Mr. Mayor. Thank you,
oh my
President.
God! Look at, he's making eyes at Mamdani.
The new political odd couple grinned and traded compliments after brokering a startling truce behind closed doors.
We had a meeting today that actually surprised me. He wants to see no crime. He wants to see housing being built. He wants to see rents coming down, all things that I agree with.
Sounds like the problems we have in LA, right?
Zoran Mamdani have traded insults from afar for months.
We turned out to have a communist in New York City.
Will we sit idly by as an authoritarian president like Donald Trump attacks the very fabric of this democracy, the very fabric of this city?
Trump even threatened to pull federal funding for New York City if Mamdani, a Democratic socialist, got elected.
He needs the money through the White House. He needs a lot.
But after Mamdani
He's
won
so
big
popular,
this month,
so
he asked to
popular.
meet with Trump, who, like him, is a New Yorker, and, like him, wooed voters by vowing to lower
They're
costs.
both populist.
And when we spoke to those voters who voted for President
Both
Trump, we heard them speak
anti-establishment
about cost of living.
populist, right?
We focus on that same cost of living.
I mean, he's got views that are a little out there, but who knows? I mean, we're going to see what works, or he's going to change also. We all change. I changed a lot.
Their detente scrambles
Crazy.
politics in Congress, where Democratic leaders have kept their distance from Mamdani, and Republican leaders had been hoping to make him the far-left face of the opposition in 2026.
I feel very confident that he can do a very good job. I think he's going to be. I think he is going to surprise some conservative people, actually.
Today, Trump even
Isn't that
came
crazy?
to Mamdani's rescue when a reporter asked about some pointed past attacks.
Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay. You can just say yes.
Okay.
He said that's
It's
okay.
easier.
You could just say
It's
yes.
easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
Oh, he touched him. You know Trump wanted to
Republicans have
touch
been
him too.
especially critical of Mamdani's views on Israel. Trump ally Elise Stefanik even called him a jihadist. Today, Trump rejected that explosive charge and said the Mamdani he met was rational and that for
Yeah.
now, he plans to help him, not hurt him.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I missed chat for a second. Zoran Mamdani is based. Yep. I'm standing Zoran right now. Other than just being a politician, like literally he brings that politician energy. That's the only thing I dislike about him. Yeah. So, hey, Marcella said, "Hey man, Trump is smart here. LOL." Oh, so he admitted it. Yeah, the fascist thing he admitted. And I think it's like Donald Trump is like, okay, they call me a fascist, whatever. I just spent, the last, I don't know how many months calling Mamdani a socialist and a communist and whatever. So, I think in Trump's mind, he's not really, politically party focused, right? Like, in the interview, he said, I think Mamdani will surprise a lot of conservatives, right? So in my mind, that's like him saying that, him and Mamdani have the same goals, which I think they do. They said in that interview that it was about affordability and crime, right? Those are two of the biggest issues in Los Angeles. So, I don't want to be presumptive and say that Mamdani is great, but right now he seems to be doing the moves. The biggest criticism of Mamdani for New York City mayor was that Trump was going to make him a target. Trump was going to attack New York City. Trump was going to, ruin New York City because, basically, I think a lot of pundits and people in the news were thinking, oh my God, if Mamdani is the president of New York City, then he's going to enact Venezuelan socialism. So we got to attack the Venezuelan boats that are probably carrying drugs or whatever, and we got to put sanctions on Venezuela to get them to to get their people to vote out Nicolas Maduro. But instead, Mamdani is just like making moves, before he's even on the job, he is, I would say, making the right steps to already address any bit of criticisms he had. Deviate said, yeah, so far Zoran is sounding good. It's not just about action when he's sworn in. Yeah, like, squashing that beef with Donald was already a great move. We'll see how it goes on from here. I'm very hopeful for Zoran. I want to see him succeed. I want to see him, make New York City affordable for the working class. So we'll see if he can do that. And, honestly, Trump is like so low. He has to be friendly with anyone and everyone he can right now. Making this alliance, or maybe not alliance, but like over, to save face, being nice with Mamdani is a good move on Trump's side too. He needs to show that in a time Don't forget, oh yeah, the bus stuff. Thank you, Marcella. Yeah, the Trump was very in line with that too. Making rent affordable and making buses affordable. Deviate said, if he accomplishes a lot of that in NYC, I'm moving. I know I think that's the dream. And every big city needs to have these these basic things: the housing, transportation, and I would say safety, right? When I lived in Chicago, I had transportation. Buses were fairly inexpensive. For most of the time. Yes, that's right, DV8. New York City is totally walkable. And you don't need a car that is like 10 times the cost of a bus pass, so we'll see. We'll see what Zoran can do, but I want to say that this is a great positive sign that Donald Trump is, being nice with him, at least showing the country that the two are somewhat on the same page. All right, so let's get into LA's Mamdani counterpart, right? Okay, by Noah Goldberg and David Zanisire. I'm sorry, homie. All right, could LA's Zoran Mamdani moment be here? It's definitely a long shot, but Ray Huang, a 43-year-old community organizer, minister, and dues-paying member of the Los Angeles chapter of the Democratic Socialist of America, so shout out to the DSA, to LA DSA. I met a lot of DSA people this past summer when we were doing the Trump, the Elon Musk protests. So shout out to the DSA. They're out there doing the work. And I think honestly normalizing the term socialist. The Red Scare is over. The Cold War is over. We no longer need to be afraid of words. Donald Trump ended woke, or MAGA killed woke, so it's okay. We can totally use the word socialist now, right? Or I guess at least democratic socialist. Okay. She is making her move, throwing her hat into the ring for mayor of LA. The virtually unknown candidate is Deputy Director of Housing Now California, a coalition that fights displacement of tenants at the state and local level. Huang, who is planning a campaign launched on Sunday. Oh, what day is this from? Oh, this is from November 15th. Okay, so a few days ago. So she just announced. Is shying away from. Okay. Huang, who planned a campaign launch on Sunday, is shying away from comparisons to Mamdani, a Democratic socialist who was elected mayor of New York City last week. She has not been endorsed by the DSA chapter of Los Angeles, though she hopes to be. Nevertheless, she sees next year's election as a moment for change. We are in a place in our country and in our political environment where folks feel stuck and afraid, Huang said in an interview. They feel like nothing is going to change and that things are things that are changing are making things even worse. Huang, a Sawtell resident, I don't even know where Sawtell is. It's probably an LA neighborhood. Hold on, let me look that up real quick. I as you guys know, I'm a born and raised IE Valley girl. Okay, yeah, Sawtell is a neighborhood in Los Angeles. Oh, it looks like it's a little bit north. It's close to Santa Monica. Okay, so that's, it's by Culver City. Oh, hey, I'm just gonna say mom. It feels disrespectful to call you Maria. Hey, mom. Yes, West LA. So that's where she's from. She's a housing community activist, which some of y'all might remember. Obama was a community activist, I think, right? So, okay. So Sawtell, am I saying that neighborhood correctly? Sawtell residence has never run for an elected office. She faces an extremely uphill battle against Mayor Karen Bass, a veteran politician with close ties to the Democratic Party, who has spent much of the year denouncing President Trump's immigration crackdown in LA. Still, Huang could complicate Bass's re-election bid by playing a spoiler role. Man, I hate how they have to say that already. Pulling away left-of-center voters in a year when the incumbent is facing criticism over her handling of the Palisades fire, a struggling city budget, and a less than optimal public services. Yeah, Mayor Karen Bass was, I think, just elected in like 2020 or something. Let me see. And it's just like honestly been one bad thing after another coming from her. And I mean, not that it's one bad thing after another from her, but she's just like, I don't know, she seems a little too old Democrat for me, and she seems to be more interested in like posturing against Trump instead of actually fighting against him. I don't know. Or taking the Mamdani approach to working with him, right? Wasn't she the lady that called a black kid a monkey? No, but it was someone in LA City Council, and it was a Latino or a Latina that was LA is bad. I mean, it's not bad. It's just there's drama in politics, and LA is one of the biggest cities, and it's bad. Okay, when did she start? Okay, so she assumed office in 2022. So she's only been in office for like 2 years. And cuz I think I remember the 2022 election, people were like, cuz she was going against Eric Caruso, which was that billionaire who like spent so much money to like run in the mayoral race, and he still lost to her. But I mean, I don't know. Obviously I can't vote in the LA mayoral race, but it's still interesting to cover because I am really interested in, hearing about LA's Mamdani, All right, let's continue with this article. Bass already has a challenger in former Los Angeles Unified School District Superintendent Austin Butner, who has assailed her record on each of those areas. And it's still not clear whether billionaire developer Rick Caruso, who lost to Bass in 2022, will jump into the race. Probably. He probably will. Why wouldn't he? The larger the pool of candidates, the more Bass will have to do in the June primary to secure an outright victory. If she falls below 50% of the vote, she could need to wage an expensive runoff campaign in the November 2026 election. Doug Herman, a spokesperson for Bass's campaign, said that under her leadership, there has been unprecedented progress on the issues that matter most to Angelenos. Like, what is that? Homelessness has declined for the first time in 2 consecutive years. I don't know if that's true or not. I feel like it's probably not. Neighborhoods are safer with significant drops in crime. I don't know about that either. And the Palisades fire recovery continues far ahead of pace with the fastest recovery and rebuilding in Californian history, Herman said in a statement. In addition, there was no better defender of Los Angeles than Mayor Karen Bass when Trump's ICE raids started, and we won a court ruling to help stop the illegal raids and unconstitutional arrest. Sarah Sadhawani, a politics professor at Pomona College, said the upcoming mayoral elections differ from recent LA contests that were won by the DSA-aligned candidates. In many of those races, DSA-backed challengers ousted incumbents who were already struggling politically, she said. Yeah, that makes sense because incumbents really got to work. Like ever since the 2024 election, incumbents need to really prove themselves. Deviate said, well, there's still a lot of homelessness. I hate these half-assed solutions that they have instead of actually solving the problem, right? Like I remember with the 2022 election, there was a big debate around letting homeless people use tents or not. Like, chat, if you remember that whole debate, I think it might have been like it was a city ordinance that would ban tents from some places because they didn't want homeless people setting up there. And it was like a whole thing because, people were saying, well, why are you going to ban these tents? You're really pushing homeless people out of the city. And then other people on the other side were saying, well, just give them housing. Why don't we do this? The bottom line is that there's a lot of people, like interested parties in getting this solution to solve this problem. And no one's really just like, taken the bull by the horns and just, straight up just said, okay, let's start with this first solution instead of blaming mental health or blaming, lack of or housing prices. It's just like, someone please just take the reins and do something with it, so we'll see. Yeah, housing is a human right as well. That's why I'm just in support of just flooding the housing market with supply. I know it's going to bring down the value of housing, but that's what we need too. We need cheaper housing. And the only way to bring it down is by increasing the supply. All right, let's go back to the article. The same goes for New York City, where former Governor Andrew Cuomo, Mamdani's main opponent, was trying to emerge from scandal and stage a comeback, which failed bad. The Democratic incumbent, Eric Adams, was so weakened by his own legal issues that he ended up running as an independent and then withdrawing from the race. Yeah, because he was messing around with Donald Trump was, giving him backdoor deals or whatever. Bass has her detractors, Saad Wani said, but it's not in such an embattled position as Eric Adams or even Cuomo. That's true. Bass is like not as in a bad position as Andrew Cuomo is, because Andrew Cuomo literally let old people die in these nursing homes when COVID was going on. So, that's really fucking bad. Cuomo would step down, he stepped down from being governor over sexual harassment claims. That was a big thing too. But I don't know, I feel like, letting all those old people die of COVID was really, really bad. Huang said she is in it to win and hopes to highlight important issues for people on the left. She wants to expand public housing, make buses free for Angelenos, and invest more in unarmed crisis responders. Bro, that literally sounds like what Mamdani is doing. Make buses free. He said, to make a New York City like crisis responder thing to help get cops off of the mental health issue response, distress crisis things that are happening in New York City, and get them back to like actually fighting legitimate crime. And it seems like that might be a good thing. I don't know if it's been tested or not or whatever, but we'll see. We'll see. I think this is what all the people who were definitely, during 2020, all the people who were saying defund the police, they didn't mean to fully cut the funding from the police so the police would be completely gone. It was just redivert some funding to do the things that the police shouldn't be doing but are doing. So we'll see. And then the free buses, that's crazy. Okay. oh yeah, sound familiar? Those are pretty much Mamdani's talking points. Huang said she is hopeful when Bass was elected. Now she lobs plenty of criticisms at Bass. She thinks the mayor's Inside Safe program is allowing too many people to slip back into homelessness. She believes Bass should explicitly support the Venice-Del Affordable Housing Project. And she doesn't feel the mayor did enough to curb police violence during the summer's chaotic protest over federal immigration raids. Yeah, the Department of Community Service and also have police for the more serious crimes. Yeah, like that's a realistic thing to ask for. I feel like the whole summer or the whole time of, the defund the police, like really allowed people to twist that narrative and just like think that, we want open borders and all these criminals to come over. No, we want the money that we're spending on public safety to actually be going to public safety, not to like all this lawsuits and stuff, because cops don't know how to handle themselves in situations that are not crime related. Huang is not the first to run from Bass's left. In 2022, late arriving mayoral hopeful Gina Viola won nearly 7% of the Hope, scooping up more than 44,000 votes in the primary after positioning herself as the self-proclaimed infamous defund the police candidate. There we go. I was just talking about that. What the hell, man? Viola said she is glad to see Huang get into the race and with much more time to campaign. Viola ran in 2022 and with just 3.5 months left before the primary. Huang has nearly 7 months. What she needs to do is win over these voters that are terribly disenfranchised, that they don't have anything to vote for, Viola said. Part of getting those potential voters out to the polls is having a strong ground game. Yeah, we need to Pokemon Go to the polls. Knocking on doors and raising money. We need to Pokemon door knock and also Pokemon Go raise money instead of Pokemon Go to the polls. Sorry, I love that stupid Hillary Clinton meme. An endorsement from the local DSA chapter could help Huang get her name out to more Angelenos. Yeah, I don't know why the DSA wouldn't endorse her unless she like went around their backs and were like, I know you guys are probably trying to put up this one candidate, but I'm just gonna run anyways. I don't know. Yes, thank you, Marcella. Always Pokemon Go to the polls. Always Pokemon vote from home. It's certainly exciting to see a left challenger to a status quo Democrat that always pushes the conversation in a good direction, said Charlie Palmer, an organizer with the DSA-LA. Oh, okay, so they like talk to DSA-LA. Why don't they endorse her? There has been enthusiasm among members about Huang, Palmer said. As for the DSA-backed members of the city council, I haven't sat down with them yet, Huang said. While 4 DSA-backed LA City Council members celebrated Mamdani's win with a party at a Highland Park bar on election night, it's not clear that they have any interest in getting behind a candidate other than Bass. They support Bass? The Los Angeles DSA supports Karen Bass? What in the world? She's like, I may be wrong, but I feel like she's a conservative Democrat. I don't know. Really? Okay, hold on. Karen Bass is the most progressive mayor we've ever had in LA, council member Ninthya Raman told the Times at the party. Bass has been doing a great job, at least in handling these crises. Council member Eunice Hernandez said in June, referring to Bass's handling of the federal immigration raids. Councilmember Hugo Soto Martinez has already endorsed Bass. Oh man, so no, there's gonna be drama in the DSA. Yes, Karen Trout. That's crazy. State of play. The rent is too damn capped. The city council voted Wednesday to lower the annual cap on rent increases for rent stabilized apartments to 4%. Many landlords and developers oppose the move, saying it would eat into their bottom line and drive away investment. Council members argued that the changes are needed to help Angelenos from falling into homelessness. That makes sense, but I see the business owner side too. Okay. Wildfire probe. Los Angeles County has opened an investigation into State Farm's general treatment of the January wildfire victims following complaints that claims were delayed, denies were underpaid. The state's largest home insurer received notice of the probe and a letter demanding records and data showing whether the company violated the state's unfair competition law. Yeah, I think I definitely remember hearing about that. That was when after the Palisade fires, instead of just like rebuilding your home because maybe you didn't have home insurance or whatever, or maybe I don't remember if they were even covered with insurance, but these insurance companies just were like, okay, we'll settle, we'll give you an amount for this burned down plot of land, and you can, use that money to buy something else. I think the issue was they were undervaluing those things and giving the homeowners cheap deals just to get their property to do who knows what with it, flip it, I guess. Okay. At least one official in the Los Angeles Fire Department was aware of concerns that its firefighters were ordered to stop mop-up operations for a January 1st brush fire that later reignited into the massive Palisade fires. Yet the department's 70-page after-action report on the Palisade fires didn't include that information or any details examining of the reignition. That's crazy. No, not Karen Tuna. We're going to do Karen Rainbow Bass. Karen Shark. Karen Catfish. Damn, no. Okay. Farewell to a watchdog. One of LA County's most prominent citizen watchdog is dead at 62. Eric Previn, a resident of Studio City, advocated for increased public access to city and county meetings, filed countless public information requests, and regularly offered his views on City Watch. It wasn't just like he was shooting from the hip, said Supervisor Catherine Barger. He would do his research. That's weird that he just died. Okay. Environmentalists are mourning the death of Wilmington clean air advocate Jesse Marquez, who battled the Port of LA for years over emissions from trucks, trains, and ships. Yeah, that's pretty bad, I would imagine. The proposal from Frank McCourt for a gondola between Union Station and Dodger Stadium faced another setback this week, with the city council urging Metro to kill the project. This resolution tells Metro that the city of Los Angeles refused to be bought by shiny renderings and empty promises, said Hernandez, who represents Chinatown and the stadium area. Dang, okay. I will have to dive into that. Yes, thank you. Karen Salmon. That's a good one. The council's public safety committee endorsed legislation this week that would bar LAPD from using crowd control weapons against peaceful protesters and journalists. The proposal, which now heads to the full council, would prohibit the department from using kinetic energy projectile. What the is this just rubber bullets? It's just rubber bullets. Or chemical agents. Okay, you mean tear gas? Tear gas? That's what are threatened with physical violence. Oh my God, yeah. No, because I remember during the ICE protest, we saw they were like these big blue, like rubber foam bullets. And it's like, I'm sorry, something this big coming out, a projectile is going to hurt no matter what. Okay. The LAPD took more than a year to begin fully disclosing domestic abuse allegations against its officers, as required by state law passed in 2021. The revelation came out during a recent hearing regarding an officer who was fired after being accused of time card fraud and physically assaulting her former romantic partner, a fellow cop. What the fuck? Why? Cop and cop violence, but also domestic violence, but also reverse domestic cop violence. What the? Oh my God, sorry. No, it's okay. We have a crazy sense of humor here, DVA. It's fine. It's fine. We're having fun. Okay, this is just another. Okay, this is the end of the grievances. So yeah, we'll keep our eye on what was her name? Ray Huang. This seems pretty cool. Okay. I think I have one more thing from her, but where did I? Shout out to LMU, Los Angeles, Loyola Marymount University. Here's another. We'll read this quick article on Ray Huang too. Okay, it's titled Los Angeles Daily News. Housing advocate Ray Huang has entered the 26th Los Angeles mayor's race. Fernando Guerrera. Oh, wait. Where's the article? There we go. Oh my God. Okay. Housing advocate Reverend Ray Huang's announcement that she will run for mayor of Los Angeles injected a progressive voice. Oh, I think this is just the same thing that we read. Double. Yes, thank you, Marcella. Go LMU. I want to try to find like a video of her. I should have been more prepared. I'm sorry. Video. Here we go. Oh, we're on Facebook.
Ourselves in a unique moment for our beloved city. This moment, right here, right now, with all of these people, I am filled with hope.
A new candidate is ready to challenge LA Mayor Karen Bass for her seat next year. 43-year-old Reverend Ray Huang launched her campaign over the weekend. The Presbyterian minister is the deputy director of Housing Now California, a coalition fighting for tenants at the state and local levels. Huang has been critical of the mayor's Inside Safe program to get unhoused people off the streets.
Year after year, we have agonized over the needless suffering and death of our unhoused neighbors on the streets of LA. 6 people dying a day on our streets. This is something that we need to say and repeat to ourselves daily until we change it.
So far, a dozen candidates are challenging Mayor Bass, including former LAUSD Superintendent Austin Buettner.
Austin Buettner, what? Oh no, I don't know. Why does Facebook have autoplay? Jeez, I have not been on Facebook. Okay. It seems like pretty new. Wouldn't it be cool if I could reach out to her and she could come on the broadcast and I could interview her? That would be so cool. But I'm too small still.
Democratic Socialist Ray Huang has officially...
I don't know what this news source is. NTD News. Okay, we'll watch it, but keep a close eye.
launched her campaign for Los Angeles mayor, challenging incumbent Karen Bass. Huang's policies reflect those that progressive leaders are advancing in other major U.S. cities. NTD's Christina Corona tells us more.
I'm Reverend Ray Huang. I'm a mother, a pastor, and a community organizer. I'm running to make Los Angeles affordable and
she's
healthy.
A mom too?
To lower our rent and deliver housing for all. To create an economy for the people, not the billionaires.
Huang, 43, is a member of the Democratic Socialists of America. She says her campaign will prioritize transitioning Los Angeles to renewable energy, providing fast and free transit, supporting small businesses, and improving public health safety through expanded mental health services. Huang's priorities are similar to issues highlighted in Democratic New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani's campaign. Huang criticized incumbent LA Mayor Karen Bass's handling of homelessness and her response to political violence over the summer.
Mayor Bass failed to deliver the housing we need and wasted taxpayer dollars with little to show for it.
I don't know, I'm feeling kind of iffy on her campaign
Voters approved
ads.
millions for homelessness, but the mayor only invested in Band-Aid programs and tried to sabotage real solutions.
If elected, she would be the city's first Asian American mayor. In recent months, progressive candidates have been mounting challenges against sitting Democratic officials across the country. In Seattle, activist Katie Wilson recently won her race against Mayor Bruce Harrell. Her platform, similar to Mamdani's, focused on affordable housing, higher taxes on the wealthy, and government-supported grocery programs. LA's mayoral primary will take place on June 2nd, 2026. Christina Corona, NTD News.
Well, thank you, NTD News. That was pretty good. Yeah, so we're gonna keep an eye on that. I think it would be kind of cool to cover the LA mayoral race alongside the California governor race. So we'll look for more races that we need to keep our eye on, since we're the Inland Empire political news. All right. Let's get into, I know some of you have been waiting for an update on the David case. I mean, really, it should be the Celeste Rivas homicide. Here's a picture of the singer David, if y'all are interested. We're going to read this article from Complex magazine. I think they're music magazine, I'm not sure. But this came out November 22nd, yesterday. New data links another person to the night Celeste Rivas died, adding pressure to the probe around David. By Mark Elbert. The homicide investigation involving David looks to be expanding. As Los Angeles detectives are now focused on a second potential suspect in the death of the 15-year-old Celeste Rivas. I mean, I'm not surprised that there is more than one suspect, right? Clearly, this dude, I'm not saying he did it or didn't do it. I'm just saying that there was multiple people involved in his life and Celeste's life at the time that, there's too many people, as a 14-year-old girl hanging around with adult celebrities, probably living that celebrity LA lifestyle. And we do not know how Celeste Rivas passed away. All we know is that her body was found dismembered. I don't know how dismembered it was, but so hard that the medical examiners had a hard time identifying the time of death, or when approximating the time of death, which is crazy, but it makes sense because the body was found in an impounded car. A car that was impounded for I don't know how long, while the decomposition of the remains had already set in. There's been so much back and forth. So yeah, this is crazy. I just don't understand how a poor 14-year-old girl from the high desert ended up dead at the hands of LA celebrity lifestyle. Okay, let's read this article. The homicide investigation involving David looks to be expanding as Los Angeles detectives are now focused on a second potential suspect in the death of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas. Speaking on the Two Angry Med podcast, attorney Mark Garagos, who said he's spoken directly with people connected to the investigation, claimed detectives believe this newly identified individual may have had involvement before, during, and after Celeste's death, and may have even been inside the Tesla where her body was discovered. I mean, that's no surprise. If they, they did as much DNA analysis as they could on that Tesla, I'm sure everyone who was hanging out with this guy, with David, was probably in that Tesla at some point. But who knows what kind of evidence they have. Okay, Garagos, I'm sorry if I'm saying his name wrong, said sources told him investigators had leaned heavily on a range of digital evidence, including cell phone data, social media location tracking, and internal Tesla logs, to trace the movements of everyone believed to be connected to the case. The digital trail reportedly places the second suspect in the same Hollywood Hills area during the window in which Celeste died. Garagos and co-host Harvey Levin each confirmed that detectives are closely examining a late-night trip David took to a remote area of Santa Barbara County last spring. Multiple conversations with sources suggest investigators believe Celeste's body may have been in the car during that trip. What the Wow, that's scary. That's scary. Okay. And new data points indicate the second suspect might have been in the vehicle as well. The medical examiner has not yet finalized the cause of death, or at least has not conveyed those findings to law enforcement. Yeah, from last I heard, part of the reason why this has been taking so long to identify a suspect is because the remains were so far decomposed. I'm sorry, I am not a crime girly. I'm trying hard to be a crime girly for this specific case, but I do not know all the terminology, so please bear with me. I forgot what I was saying, but that's okay. Celeste was discovered dead in the back of David's Tesla earlier this year, although I don't think it was the back, it was the front, because the Tesla has a front trunk, sparking public concern about a months-long investigation. LAPD has not announced any arrest, but David remains under active investigation, although he has reportedly not been cooperating with the police throughout the investigation. That's crazy. According to People magazine, a source connected to the Los Angeles Police Department said the singer-songwriter, real name David Burke, has been uncooperative since the beginning of the investigation. Dude, I believe it. I think he was going on tour and stuff. Garagos also noted that detectives appeared confident in the connections they've established so far, though no timeline has been given for possible charges. Yeah. So, we'll see what happens. What a weird picture. It has a picture of Nicki Minaj next to a picture of Donald Trump next to a picture of Jay-Z. What do these three people have in common? They're all from New York City, I guess? Okay. Oh, because Nicki Minaj drops Trump MAGA flex post with not so subtle... Okay, whatever. I can't get into that right now. Cannot get into Barbie drama right now. Okay. What a combo, exactly. Okay, here's the other article I had on the date. Oh, that's the first one. Here we go. That's from, okay, a little video real quick.
Year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, whose body was found in the front trunk of singer David's impounded Tesla in September.
David was officially identified as a suspect in the teen's death this week, and now a source that's close to the case says detectives have identified a second suspect. Lindsay Pena, live in our news center with the latest on that. Lindsay?
Rick and Corinne, this is the second major development in this case this week. Back on Tuesday, a source was able to confirm to KTLA that singer David is being named as a suspect, as you mentioned. The body of the Lake Elsinore teen was found September 8th in the front trunk of David's Tesla impounded at a Hollywood tow yard. David was on tour at the time, but police now believe Hernandez was killed last spring. The medical examiner reported she had been dead for an extended period of time. Just yesterday, the case was updated in the medical examiner's website. The cause of death had been listed as deferred for weeks, but now there is no information listed, which means there could be a security hold on the case. Late today, TMZ reporting that Rivas's body may have been frozen, and that could make it difficult or nearly impossible.
Did you hear that, chat? They said that her body could have been frozen. So not only did decomposition happen in this probably hellscape of a parking lot, of an impounded parking lot, you could see like literally the detectives or whoever, the cops have easy ups because they don't want to, you know, be in the direct sunlight. They froze her body, maybe, and then put it in the car and then left the car. What were they doing? It's almost like whoever murdered her didn't know what to do with the remains. That's absolutely insane and disgusting. Oh my God.
To determine the cause of death. Our request to the medical examiner's office for more information hasn't been answered yet. Now there are reports of a second suspect being named. That information coming from attorney Mark Garagos, who is not connected to the case but says he's talked to people close to the investigation and they've told him this person could be involved before, during, and after her death.
I think what law enforcement is focusing on right now is they're trying to determine locations, and they have reverse engineered. They obviously know when they found the car. They obviously know when they discovered the remains. They now are reverse engineering the movements of all those who were involved, and they've done it in a very sophisticated way.
Garagos and Harvey Levin of TMZ both confirming independently that investigators are looking closely at a trip that David took to a remote area of Santa Barbara County in the middle of the night last spring. At this point, one former LAPD detective we've spoken with says David is likely under surveillance, and all of these developments could mean an arrest is coming soon. Attorney Allison Treasel saying investigators are likely taking their time and being extra careful since this case is so high profile.
This is a high-profile case with a lot of eyes on the LAPD, and they don't want to get it wrong. They should not have to be in any type of a rush because there's no statute of limitations on a murder case if this is in fact a murder, and the coroner has yet to release the manner of death or the toxicology reports.
As of now, there have still been no charges and no arrests in this case. In the News Center, Lindsay Pena, KTLA 5 News. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Lindsay, thank you.
Yeah.
Breaking news in
My
Rialto,
gosh,
where
yes.
a raid.
Sorry. It's a horrible story, and that's why I'm like, we need to cover it. And we have been covering it. If you want to find out more, it seems like this subreddit community that's, I don't know if it was originally dedicated to David Burke, but it's now just turned into like a Celeste Rivas justice Reddit investigates moment, because these people like have been finding the most crazy things. Like they've been lining up pictures. Oh my God, I'm sorry. It's just such sad to see how young she looks. She's literally a child. Yeah, yeah. So this subreddit is really interesting. Look, here's a TikTok from David.
Words to share with you for 2025. Despite all the craziness that's going on, all the turmoil, the natural disasters, the hurt and pain and death and things like that this year, I just wanted to tell you guys not to be discouraged and not to lose hope and not to turn your face from God in these times of evil, and it seems like just at the start of the year, it's literally January, and all this stuff is happening. It's like the most insane. It's February now, but it's the most insane start to a year that I've ever seen. But God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. So keep that sound mind, 2025.
Yeah. And then his whole world came crashing down. But yeah, it's a really, really sad story, and I really hope that Celeste gets some sort of justice. Because it's way too sad. It's way too sad, and I feel like in a world where, you know, we had the like Me Too movement, we had you know, the whole Harvey Weinstein thing, and now we're like definitely having the Jeffrey Epstein thing. It's like, I just want to point out that it doesn't need to be complex, you know, like Pizzagate rings that are coordinating all of this, you know, PDF file behavior. It literally could just happen in everyday situations. Like Celeste Rivas was a girl that grew up in the high desert. She was living there. I don't know how she met David. I don't know how David met her, but it's clear that they were hanging out a lot before her time of death, and you know, all of that. And it's just like, what happened? You know, like, how did she end up dead? Why did she end up dead? You know, it's, why is nobody saying anything? Supposedly they were, you know, in love. Like you know, this subreddit has found, you know, lyrics that he's made dedicated to Celeste. Like, it's I just don't understand it, and I really, really hope see, look at this post. Possible Celeste voice in David's collab song when she was just 11. Like, and it has lyrics here. You know, it's sad. It's sad and horrifying. And yeah, we're going to keep covering it on the broadcast until Celeste gets justice for sure.
My gosh. Oh my gosh.
Okay. So, wow. What? Okay, here's a TikTok. Sorry. I'm pretty sure it's her recording.
My gosh. Oh my gosh. Think that you actually did this?
Wow, and he left her like a romantic flowers in the shape of a heart, and I think it's surrounded by like money. Yeah, it's surrounded by money. I see like other gifts behind there. That's crazy. And then the comments. Hold on. We can see David standing on the bed of his Don Henny house with his pants sagging down to his ankles. We also see an elaborate display of gifts for the person in the video: cash, bracelets, Yeezy clothing, pink shorts, I don't know, Hello Kitty, whatever, all these things. The video was originally posted to David's TikTok, but has since been deleted. I don't know the exact date, blah, blah, blah. Okay. According to Celeste's brother Matthew, Celeste disappeared for the first time on Valentine's Day 2024 after leaving to attend a movie with David and never returning. The very next day, 911 call logs show that Riverside County Sheriff's Department received a call for I don't know, missing child, I guess. On February 16th, anonymous source shared the family's missing post on their Instagram story. Okay. So if this video is real, so here we have a 13-year-old Celeste being showered with expensive gifts, cash, inside the bedroom of her 18-year-old boyfriend. On the first date, she is considered a missing person. Yeah, because a 13-year-old shouldn't be dating an 18-year-old. In the screenshot, you can see okay. More, okay. So yeah, it's just, you know, I don't know if all the investigating that's been happening on this subreddit by the users, because it seems like David was or still was a heavily online person, you know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say, just like he's a creep. That's what I'm saying. Whether he killed her or not, there's still foul play, and he shouldn't have. Like, if he truly loved her, which I'm not saying he did or didn't, it's just like, come on. Where were you when she went missing? Where, like, is bad all the way around. So yeah, that's it on that. It was just shocking to hear that
breaking news in Rialto.
The body was probably frozen before that. Okay, so let's get into one more big heavy news story, and then we'll get into the fun thing I have prepared. Thanks for the update of all these stories. It's scary. Yeah, it's scary. And you know, I think a lot of girls in the IE, myself included, I idolized LA so much as a kid because I wanted to get out of, you know, this, what I considered one-horse town, Inland Empire, even though it was not a one-horse town. And I probably would have done anything to hang out and live the LA lifestyle, right? But, you know, if I was a kid, I would not be trusting adults, but who knows what her situation was. All I'm doing is raising awareness, that there still be men creeping out there. Still be men creeping on young girls, disregarding of their, you know, no respect for these young girls. Only use them, abuse them, and throw them away. Like, that's awful. Absolutely awful, in my opinion. Okay. So we're going to talk about Cal State San Bernardino a little bit again. I'll shout out to one of my favorite professors, Dr. Corrigan. They have been fighting against these raises that have happened for Cal State University presidents. So let's watch what he has to say.
Where our campus administration has been earning some very bad press. One recent San Bernardino Sun headline read, Audit finds Cal State San Bernardino student housing program deep in debt. CSUSB's student housing department has transferred $33 million in debt to the university since 2019, and it borrowed $10 million from the student union and campus operating fund. The latter was impermissible under CSU policy. Another Desert Sun headline reads, CSUSB shuts down highly awaited physician assistant program. State and federal lawmakers secured $18 million for that desperately needed program, but it failed because accreditation because administrators didn't hire enough faculty and tried to pass off management personnel as faculty. Finally, a Riverside Record headline reads, jury awards former CSUSB Associate Dean $6 million in gender discrimination lawsuit. As the plaintiff's attorney explained, there were innumerable complaints of gender harassment made to innumerable officials over several years, and the institution did nothing. $67 million later, I ask, how have CSUSB's top administrators, directly implicated in each of these costly, embarrassing scandals, kept their jobs? Where's the accountability?
There you go. He lined it out there pretty well. If he deviate, he looks like Bryce Harper. I have no idea who Bryce Harper is. And if he's a sports guy, I'm sure he's a good professor. No, I'm sure he would probably like that because Dr. Corrigan is definitely a sports guy. I know him because I took a journalism class with him, and he desperately wanted to be a sports reporter. So, if Bryce Harper does basketball, I'm sure Dr. Corrigan knows who he is because Mr. Corrigan is a very tall man and still plays basketball. So another here. I just wanted to see other people talk.
I'm Sariola, and I'm a proud alumni of Chico State, and I'm a current graduate TA in English at Cal State San Bernardino. I'm a product of the CSU. My success here was only possible
baseball.
because
I'm sorry.
of faculty who had the time to teach and space to care. That's why I wanted to teach here. But Chancellor Garcia, you and this board have made it brutally clear that you don't care about my working conditions, my students' futures, or the mission that brought me here. Class sizes explode while sections disappear, you stretch faculty impossibly thin, and then you adopt AI without consulting educators who teach critical thinking and writing. I tell students to engage with their writing process while you hand them the tools to bypass that. These are profit-driven decisions dressed up as progress, and our students pay the price. We ask you to restore jobs, and instead you propose one-time bonuses that undermine collective bargaining. As threats to academic freedom intensify nationally, the CSU should model resistance, and instead you consolidate power and ignore faculty. Chancellor Garcia, you have faculty who are the reason students like me survive and stay and eventually stand here wanting to give back. Stop making decisions about education without us. Use the loan as intended. Listen to faculty. Restore what makes the CSU worth believing in. Thank you. Hello, my name is
Okay, another pretty powerful thing. We'll come in with my critiques after this.
Good afternoon.
Let's
My
watch
name is
one
Susan
more.
Jones, and I'm a proud professor at CSU San Bernardino for 18 years. I've watched the system transform from a place of learning into a corporate business model that puts profit over people and money over students. System-wide, the CSU pays over $500 million a year in interest going to Wall Street, while classrooms crumble and programs are cut. And just this July, another $1 billion was borrowed, not for education, but for stadiums and vanity projects that you all approved through the system-wide revenue bond program. On my campus, CSU San Bernardino, we pay $18 million a year towards that debt, and even made unauthorized transfers from our operating fund to cover it. The chief audit officer himself called it out. And now, even the $144 million no-interest state loan meant to support instruction has been hijacked for one-time bonuses instead of real pay increases or investments in our students. Enough. Just stop mortgaging our students' futures and burning out the educators who make this system possible. Put CSU, our students, and taxpayers' money back where it belongs.
Yes, you're right, DV8. You were so right. It's all thanks to Ronald Reagan, who made public schools for profit or made public schools have to invest into the stock market to get funding. That's crazy. So yeah, I'm just covering this CFA, the California Faculty Association of CSUSB, because shout out to my schools. They bring up some great points. And I can't help but wonder, like, why do these, administration keep getting raises after raises? So let's read this from Cal Matters by Mikhail Zins. I can't even say his name. I'm sorry, buddy. Cal State wants to offer bigger raises to campus presidents while cutting elsewhere. On November 19th, the Board of Trustees voted to approve the new compensation plan, with only Lieutenant Governor Eleni Koulinakis, I think that's how you say her name, casting a no vote. 13 of the system's presidents got base raises because of what they were owed under a previous pay policy. Those raises range from 5 to 20% and apply retroactively to July. That's crazy. Imagine getting retroactive pay increase. Like, I know that's the goal, but at this level, come on. Several others are slated to receive performance-based raises of 5 to 15% in the 2026-27 fiscal year. California State University trustees will vote tomorrow on whether to increase how much the system's 22 campus okay, we already got the update on that. Exact numbers aren't available. Those will be revealed during tomorrow's morning board meeting. I think we have the numbers, but I think it's this. Okay. We'll keep reading. Several hundred unionized staff and faculty rallied outside the Board of Trustees meeting today, raging against the proposed executive raises at a time of budget austerity, layoffs, and program cuts. I am mad, said Aaron Footy, a union board member for California State Employees Union. During the union represents 35,000 office and student workers. The union is in a dispute with the system over additional raises. We are going to knock the doors of our legislators so hard there will be holes in them until they stand with us in their budget negotiations, she said, and vowed to organize for a governor who'd replace Cal State's chancellor and appoint more union-friendly trustees. Average base pay for campus presidents is currently at $453,000, ranging from $370,000 to more than $500,000, more than $500,000. Under the compensation plan, raises to executives' base pay would be part of an overall wage increase for Cal State workers. That's an additional 15% incentive-based bump to pay executives would be eligible for. The criteria for receiving the 15% increase hasn't been finalized, said the system's interim CFO, Patrick Lenz, in an interview last week. The chancellor's office will need a year or two to work on that, he said. The plan would depart from Cal State's previous standard of capping base pay of presidents at a salary that is no more than 10% above what their predecessors made. Damn, the rich really do be getting richer. That plan last updated 18 months ago inappropriately prevents the CSU from offering competitive compensation to presidents who can lead large universities, the chancellor's office staff wrote. Okay, yeah, like that makes sense. You know, you want to have competitive pay to get competitive candidates that are also applying to private universities, right? I think where the issue runs into, or the issue here is that there's like a fundamental misunderstanding of what the president of the schools do. And we'll get in, I think this article gets into it a little bit more. But it's not as simple as just getting more class size, you know, redirecting that money to other things, to students, right? The overhaul comes at a time when the system is hurting for cash and is also contending with epochal. Is that what that? Epochal? Hold on. Let's play it.
Epical.
Epical. Thank you. Forming or characterized of an epoch. Okay, so okay. Epic. Thank you. With epochal challenges to higher education as Trump administration seeks to claw back billions in funding to universities and challenge long-held academic freedoms at campuses. Last month, Cal State pushed through initial hesitation to seek a $144 million zero-interest loan from California lawmakers, a financing deal that legislature permitted to compensate for equally sized cut to the system's state support this year. System leaders say they want to use the money to offer one-time bonuses to unionized workers and other staff, including senior executives. Oh, so what I'm hearing is that the systems leader just want to use the money to give senior executives bonuses. They aren't going to give it to unionized workers. They're going to give it to unionized workers to say, hey, you can have this bonus if you get ununionized. I bet that's what it is. Union members want ongoing raises that also support expanded benefits, so probably like healthcare and stuff. And Cal State is expecting smaller increases in state support than lawmakers initially signaled. There it is. This is why the CSU system is offering exorbitant amounts of money to these presidents. They need these presidents to fundraise. They need these presidents to bring in money, right? That's what they want. That's why they are like, we need competitive people that can secure us funding. That's what this is about. And and I'm sure the CSU, the CFA knows that, but I feel like maybe they're not hitting the right issue, right? Obviously, everyone should be big mad that these presidents are getting raises when literally the president of my school is retiring this year and his position is going to get a raise. What does he, who is going into retirement, need a raise for? Like, if you're going to say that, this person is leaving, we need their position to be at a higher competitive rate, then just do it, just do it. Don't let everyone, obviously they have to let everyone know about the raises, but it's like, why did you have to give a raise to someone who is outgoing? Why did you have to give a raise to someone that you didn't even hire yet, right? Like, I feel like if it was any old position, like any basic replaceable position, non-executive level position, they would have been like, okay, great, this person is leaving. Let's lower the base pay so that way we can hire someone at a cheaper rate, right? That's what I would have done if I was in this position for CSU presidents, right? I would have said, no, we don't need to raise the pay for Cal State San Bernardino's president when this man is literally outgoing. Let's find a good candidate first and then decide what we're going to pay them. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, there's multiple ways to look at this, and I'm trying to look at it from all angles, and it's not going to be an easy solution. It's not as easy as getting, teachers to have higher pay. It's not as easy as shrinking costs for students, right? Like, if my costs were to go down to like 0 right now, my quality of education would not improve significantly, right? My tuition going down to going down in price is not making my quality of education better, right? Like, obviously the problems are much more deeper than not having the funding. There's a whole debate within the university academia thing, I'm sure, with this AI BS. And honestly, there's probably been a debate about academia when when academia was just academia, when people didn't need to go to college to get bachelor's degrees to get higher paying jobs. Okay, I feel like that's the issue here. In my opinion, the fact that bachelor's degrees and higher education degrees are needed for higher paying jobs is the problem here, because that forced the schools to like fast track some programs. It forced the schools to like churn out students to get more funding, because and some schools, it's just like literally, like at Cal State San Bernardino, it is a commuter school and there is little to no community there because everyone is not going there to have the university life. They are going there to get a job because they have tried everything else and could not get a better paying job. So they're like, oh my God, I need to go and get an education to get this stupid piece of paper that says that I am qualified to do this bullshit job that I'm sure everyone is, the people are already doing, So it's a very, very sticky situation, and I am no expert on this, but I can see that the issues are deeper than funding, because this is what the CSU is saying, that they don't have enough money and they need to hire more presidents who are better at fundraising to like literally make these schools survive. And then on the other side, you have the teachers saying, we need more funding, because we are literally, I think one of the articles said that, professors at Cal Poly Pomona have to have roommates because they cannot afford to live in that area on their CSU professor pay, whatever it is. Thank you. Deviate. Yeah, plus just because you have a bachelor's doesn't equate to smart, right? And we'll see now that AI is basically a hack. You use AI to hack your way to get a degree. Or AI, it's not even AI. You've had people buying their degrees. You've had Arizona State University, all these online bullshit university, Trump University. You've had all of these scams of universities to get those degrees to people so they can get those jobs. It's so broken, bro. It's the whole university system is broken. And like arguing over where the little bit of money is going is not gonna be it. I mean, it's a good starting point, yes, but it's not addressing the core issue, which is that, and I again, we might not even be able to address this core issue, because it's such a big thing and such a deep-seated, long historical standard of my parents going to university, and my grandparents did not go to university, but it's a long tradition in American society to go off to university, to become your own person, to meet the love of your life in university, and do all those things, get the job, live the American dream, settle down, buy a house, and have kids, and then wash, rinse, repeat. But that has squeezed the whole, because everyone is doing that now, the competition is so much more higher. So you get my point. It's crazy. So we'll finish with this article. Cal State explains need for a plan. In explaining the increased executive compensation proposal, a senior Cal State official said few individuals have experience and skills to set and run campuses with budgets in the hundreds of millions of dollars. Okay, so you're saying that you need like a CEO of a company. You need to hire. It's like when Nintendo CEO Reggie Fils-Aimé went to go work for GameStop, and it's like, or I think the current Nintendo CEO, whatever, Bowser, he used to work for Pepsi or something, or shoot, even Apple CEO Tim Apple used to work. I think he used to work for Pepsi. Honestly, I don't know. I feel like everyone's been the CEO of Pepsi at one point or another. It's like they all have this experience of running. Yes, thank you, Deviate. Reggie. My body is Reggie. Reggie Fils-Aimé. Classic. Best CEO. When we do the French Revolution here in America again, it'll be sad to put Reggie into that guillotine. I get that these big CEOs have the skills, really, because it is a skill. Yes, thank you, Marcella. My body is ready. These CEOs have the skills to make these deals, to persuade people to give the schools money. I'm not doubting that, right? It's very much like electing a president, right? We elected President Trump because we needed someone to bring back American values or make America great again, whatever he said he was doing, and convinced enough people to think that that's what he really was going to do. So the current president of Cal State San Bernardino is basically a lame duck. He's probably been lame duck since 2020, honestly. Just letting the university die with the pandemic. Okay. We want people in these positions who will ensure that a campus's fiscal condition is spot on, that they're trying to meet enrollment challenges, that they're dealing with the overwhelming fact that the state's going to be hard-pressed to invest in higher education over the couple next years. And the federal government is decimating us, said Lenz. These are the people that we need to come in and help us get through these really tough times, he added. Cal State, in the last 4 years, increased staff and faculty pay by 17%. Chief Human Resource Officer Oh my God, that's just say CEO of HR. I mean, no. It was that one lady at the Coldplay concert with the CEO. She was whatever this position was called, but it's just you're just like I think they call it the chief CHRO. That's such a weird now. So it just has to be just do human resource director. Geez. Okay, Frank Huarte told Cal Matters last week. Okay, so they got 17% increase according to, that incident. Yeah, this is too funny. He said campus presidents saw a 7% raise in this time span. The faculty union calculates that the presidential pay has grown 81% in the past 2 decades. Even as inflation grew 63%. Okay, this is news. This is news we've been knowing, that the people at the top have seen an increase in their wages, while the people at the middle and the bottom, the people at the middle have seen a stagnation in their wages, right? And then people bottom have actually seen decrease in their wages. But I'm glad that the people at the top in American society are doing better. You know, their pay has increased 81% in the past 20 years. So that means in 2005, so if presidents are making $400,000 a year now, in 2005 they were making 100 or 200,000, 175,000. That's crazy. $175,000, $200,000 in 2005. That's pretty decent. 400,000 in 2025. That sounds crazy. I don't know. I was not working in 2005, so I do not know what the job market was like at that time. While typical executive pay is several times what it is for faculty and staff, the vast majority of the system's spending goes towards pay for workers who aren't executives. Okay, that makes sense. The majority of workers are not executives, so of course they would be taking up majority of the pay. $5.6 billion, or 73% of the system's budget, wrote Jason Maimon, a Cal State goes to non-executives. Okay. That means that more than 25% go to executives. That's crazy. A quarter of the system's budget goes to executives. And how much do executives actually make up of the whole CSU? Their past has to be like 5% or 2% or something, right? Executives, the statewide chancellor, campus president, and vice chancellors in the central office collectively earn $18 million, or 0.25% of Cal State's operating budget. Interesting how they say 73%, but then those people, why would they say 0.25%? They're saying it's even less. Weird. Just tax them where they're not billionaires anymore. Yeah. Unfortunately, these people are not billionaires, which is pathetic. You would think that this job that they do, which is, securing funding and running entire schools in California, should be a little bit more higher stakes, right? I don't know. Huarte pointed out that nationally about 30 to 40% of campus presidents left their jobs in the past 2 years. Cal State has 6 campuses with president vacancies, he noted. There's both a lot of churn in the campus presidential job market and competition to fill vacancies. Okay, so this is what the real problem is. They can't hire replacements. Just say that, bro. Just say that you can't hire replacements for all these boomers that, have been in the job in their 70s, Literally, Thomas Morales is like 78 years old. Let me tell you the age. Oh my God. He got a degree in 1978 from University of Albany. How old is he? He is the university. Oh my God. Like a cap. So maybe fitting, maybe anything after a certain amount of money, they will be taxed 8%. Yeah. That's what we used to have during the economy we had after World War II in the 50s. 50s and 60s. I think that's when we had the highest income or highest taxes on the highest income earners in the United States. Okay, well, this is not telling me how old this man is, but he got his master's in science in 19. Okay, whatever. This man is old. You get the point. Like he's so old that he's not even chunky anymore. He's losing weight. That's how old he is. So he was due to retire a long ass time ago. Okay. Cal State has 6 presidents with vacancies. Already covered that. Margarita Burnett Avila, president of California Faculty Association, which represents 29,000 members, said in an interview that the executives have mismanaged state and tuition money and don't deserve raises anyways. Stupid. Why would you say that? Why would you say, oh yeah, these they don't deserve raises? Brother, if you're saying that you deserve a raise, you can't be walking around saying other people don't deserve a raise. Just say that they don't deserve a, like, you know, how much was it? 20.25% raise? How about instead of saying they don't deserve a raise at all, just say they deserve a 5% raise, you know? They deserve the same amount of raise that y'all are asking for. This is where I lose it with people who should be on my side, right? As a progressive leftist, I want to fight with the union, but when they say stupid shit like this, people who have mismanaged tuition money don't deserve raises anyways. Like, you can't just say that. Like, you can't just throw fire and expect to, not have fire thrown back at you. So, some faculty don't even earn enough to afford rent, So, I don't know what the solution is. All I'm saying is that something's got to give, and someone's got to make concessions first. It's unconscionable that they're even talking about the raises when you got the people living in cars. Yes, but you see that the CSU system has a problem retaining presidents, right? How do you keep presidents? Obviously, I would say, get them into a contract that they can't break, right? Until they, but I guess, sure, let's do capitalism. Let's see if we could pay these people higher wages and if they will actually deliver for us, which I don't know if it does, but this is the meritocracy that we grew up in. Okay. Executive compensation under the proposed plan would have 4 components. Base pay, standard executive health and retirement benefits, plus housing and car perks for presidents, which they already have. A new deferred compensation plan and the possibility of annual pay rising by as much as 15% after a performance review. How often do they get performance reviews? Just once a year? While the base pay, like much of Cal State's budget, would be paid with tuition and state revenue. The extra 15% would be funded with campus philanthropic efforts. Each university has a fundraising arm, and they'd be expected to raise the money to supplement president's pay. No way. No, the foundations are not going to be down for that. How are you going to fundraise for a school and then, you have to tell people that actually some of the money that you're donating to the school is going to go to directly profiting the president of the school? I don't want to donate to the president of the school. I want to donate to the students. What the frick? That's a dumb policy. This is like, you're working at JCPenney's and you know how you upsell the JCPenney's credit card. It's like asking your coworker to sell the JCPenney's credit cards for you. That's crazy. You have to do that yourself, buddy. Oh my God. Okay. That fundraising money will also go towards the new deferred compensation program, basically an additional retirement account for executives at nonprofit or governmental organizations such as universities. Why do they need additional retirement? Cal State wouldn't be alone in paying campus leaders with private funds. At the University of California, several campus heads, called chancellors, have a portion of their salaries paid with outside funds. What the frick? Compensation decisions must also be fiscally prudent, align with the CSU's public mission, and be made within the constraints of available funding and budget priorities, the agenda item says. Under this plan, the statewide chancellor will propose raises each November for board approval. Yikes. The new compensation plan seeks to better attract and retain campus presidents by offering new presidents and other executives a base salary that reflects what peer universities pay and the skills the candidates bring. Okay, well, you know what? This is what you need to do as a business. CSU system, let me give you some free business advice, right? If these people don't want to work for you at that pay, find someone else to do it. You can find someone else to do it. I promise you, you can. There is probably people already in the universities that you could just promote to be the presidents. Do that and have them at their same pay. Don't give them any raise. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like corporate America is so much more better at getting people to take pay cuts that the CSU system sucks. It's bureaucracy, but they're like trying to be capitalist, but they cannot be capitalist because they have to serve the public. All of this reminds me of that Family Guy cutaway where they settled in America and talking about who gets rights, and they just say, you know what? Nobody gets any rights. Yep, that's it. I love that clip. Because yeah, it's literally everyone's like looking above them saying, I want to make as much money as that person. And then that person is looking above them and saying, why can't I make as much money as that person? Right? When in reality, we should probably be looking below us and being like, thank God I make a little bit more money than that person. Let me figure out how I can help that person below me make more money. You know? Like if the presidents at the CSUs if they fostered a good relationship with their staff at the school, they could probably get way more productive professors. They could probably be way more, successful. But instead, it's like a constant battle between the professors and what other staff and the executive administration. Like they're fighting against each other. Because they both have their own interest, when in reality they should have the same interest, which is getting as much students into their school and having them succeed as possible. That should be the number one priority. But instead, we have the CSU system saying their priority is, well, we need to, one, retain more presidents who now have the job of securing more funding, so they're kind of an even more important job. Nobody wants to do this job. So, and then you have the CFA saying these people don't deserve to have their wages raised. We actually deserve to have our wages raised, and screw them. I don't want to say that they would be arguing, they would be okay with throwing the baby out with the bathwater, but that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like the CFA is doing. It's like, you either accept these terms or not at all. And I don't, you know what? I have some experience with unions, but I do not have experience with professionalized unions, right? I have experience with unions that are working class. I have experience with unions that are public sector workers. I have experience with unions who, there's like, you are an hourly wage, you are an hourly worker, right? Where companies actively try to screw you over. They try to make you to do as much work as possible outside of your hours for as little pay as possible. You know, I can't make that same argument for professors. I hate to say it. Y'all are professionals. What? I'm not saying that there's bad working conditions. I'm sure there's bad working conditions, but why can't you guys organize better to get what you want? Like, what's the issue here? Do you need to have more members? Because if you need to have more members, then maybe you need to consider lowering your standards and not just have the California Faculty Association. Make it the California University Staff Association. Include everyone into that union. I don't understand why there's like 5 different unions on campus representing 5 different groups of people. You know, they have like the Teamsters at my school for the like janitorial staff or something. They have the CFA for the professors. They have whatever the union is for the student teachers. Like, and I think all of these unions, the school actively tries to pit them against each other. You know, so it's like there has to be more what's the word I'm looking for? Working together, camaraderie. I'm not sure what, there. What'd you say? More cooperation between these unions. They need to be on the same page and stop trying to, I don't know. They need to like secure their weaknesses so that way the CSU can't exploit them, right? And I feel like a big weakness of the CFA is their lack of member numbers, because I mean, other than actually have taken Dr. Corrigan's class where he is the vice president of the CFA at CSUSB, I would have never have known about him. And honestly, all my other professors don't really care to make an effort to participate in that union, So it's like y'all have to get each other on the same page. It can't just be some professors fighting against other professors while, other professors have completely thrown up their arms and say, well, yeah, the entire academia is falling apart. So there's nothing to even, no point in even fighting for anything. Yeah, I hate the fact that in the society, it's every person for themselves. It's so stupid. Yeah, America is very individualistic, right? China, they're very collectivism, or are very collective people, right? The good, what's good for the many is good for all, right? Whereas in America, it's what's good for the few is good for the all, right? So we need to get our priorities in order. And yeah, there is hope. There definitely is hope. People want change in the university system. People want colleges to be better. People want to go to college. People want college to be affordable. Like the issue isn't that like students are not going to college anymore. It's just that they're going to different schools that are offering them better things, Anyways, I think we're done with this Cal State or the CSU overall, but I did want to read. So y'all remember a couple episodes ago we talked about the physician assistance program at my school and how it didn't go through. Well, we got an opinion letter from the president of the school talking about the physician's assistant program. Let's get into it. All right. At California State University, San Bernardino, we take our responsibility serious to recognize and address the needs of all our service region, San Bernardino and Riverside counties known as the Inland Empire. One of these needs encompasses healthcare. The Inland Empire has the most significant healthcare access gaps of any major metropolitan area in California. Yes, we covered that on the broadcast. The patient-to-doctor ratio is horrendous in the IE. We remain steadfast in our commitment to help fill that void through superior and culturally responsive physician assistant education. While CSUSB has a long-established and highly reputed nursing education program, we are aware that physician numbers in our region are still below what is needed. Homie, I would not say it's still below what is needed. It's in dire need. This is why we instituted the Masters of Science in Physician Assistant program to prepare and provide highly trained physician assistant workforce to supplement healthcare services in the face of insufficient physician numbers. To meet this goal, our entire campus team has worked diligently to incorporate what we have learned over the past 3 years of program development into policies and practices that meet or exceed the discipline's accrediting body, known as ARCPA. Meet or exceed the discipline's accrediting body's appropriately high standards. Okay, so he admits that the standards are high, and they're justly high. But then I think he's going to say he disagrees with what ARCPA said. Over this multi-year process, CSUSB garnered impressive community support, including significant state and federal funding, along with securing unprecedented full tuition scholarship for 10% of our incoming class. We remain confident in our program's commitment to fully meeting all the requirements for ARCPA accreditation, in addition to compliance with the standards of the 22-campus California State University system. The standards of the WASC Senior College and University Commission and state and federal laws governing equitable employee treatment. Most importantly, students accepted into the CSUSB PA program have continued to show full support and faith in the program, despite of ARCPA's communication about accreditation being withheld. What do you mean? What a weird way to phrase it. Please know that Cal State San Bernardino continues to dispute the findings. Bro, what do you mean dispute? There's no dispute. There's only fix. You need to fix the problems that this accreditation program wants you to address. To be specific, CSUSB has voiced concerns to ARCPA based on the following. Oh my God, homie, this accreditation service said, here's 8 reasons why this program did not get off the ground. And then Thomas Morales said, you know what? I have my own 13 reasons why. Here they are. CSUSB was given approval of accreditation, provisional, conditional, which is not okay, blah, blah, blah. ARCPA made accreditation decisions based on factors outside of the published ARCPA standards. AR did not follow published process. Did not allow due process for the program when reviewing formal complaints. ARCPA allowed a breach of the university's confidential data through an ill-functioning online application portal. Okay. ARCPA gave preferential treatment to other applicant programs who did not have to utilize the poorly functional online application portal. What is this portal? And we need more information on it. ARCPA permitted unethical, clandestine communication exchanges between certain disgruntled faculty members and ARCPA commissioners. Ooh, that sounds like a problem that Morales had inside the house. And they went and talked behind his back, it sounds like. ARCPA made obvious and impactful clerical errors in the review of key documents and demonstrated no interest in rectifying them. And ARCPA financially benefited from breaking their process, amassing $200,000 or $20,000 in additional fees. So Morales is saying that this company stole from us? CSUSB has ongoing concerns with the level of fairness and impartiality in the ARCPA review process. Nevertheless, the university continues to review its options to reapply for accreditation as it is right. Here at CSUSB, we remain committed to finding ways to support health needs of the people of the Inland Empire. Thomas D. Morales is president at Cal State University, San Bernardino. Okay, that sounds like bullshit. It sounds like he was just trying to cover his ass, and now he's like, airing out fake dirty laundry. That's crazy. Imagine these fees were just like the regular application fees, and he's like, since we didn't pass application, can you give us back our application fees? When literally the school does not do that themselves. You apply to the school, you think that if they deny you, you can ask for your application fee back. Hell no, they're keeping that fee. They are keeping that fee. Wow. All right. Last thing on the docket today is a kind of interesting thing. Let's get into this crazy story from 3 days ago. An investigation from a great Instagram page called Everything Inland Empire. They are like a news organization and focuses on Inland Empire stuff. I highly suggest following them. An investigation is underway in Yucaipa after multiple Christmas cards containing vulgar messages were left in a neighborhood overnight on Monday, leaving some residents on edge. Okay, let's...
On the outside, they look like normal Christmas cards, but on the inside, disturbing handwritten messages. Several of these cards were found at the doorsteps of homes in a quiet Yucaipa neighborhood Monday night.
Open it, and it reads, "Santa, I want the head of a Nazi under my tree." And then I was like, whoa.
Doorbell video shows one man in a mask placing a note on the doorstep and then blowing a kiss. Another video shows two masked men placing another note in a planter.
It's really terrifying, to be honest with you, because we're home. I have my 14-year-old daughter. What if she would have been outside?
Now, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department says they're investigating these two masked suspects, and they will be placing more patrol officers in this Yucaipa neighborhood. On the outside, they look like normal Christmas cards, but on the inside, disturbing handwritten.
So one of the message says, "Eat the rich and blank the pigs."
Messages. Several of these cards were found.
This one says, "You are warned."
At the doorsteps of homes in a quiet Yucaipa neighborhood Monday night.
Open it, and it reads, "Santa, I want the head of a Nazi under my tree." And then I was...
Chat, this is crazy. It's some crusty ass leftist or someone LARPing as a crusty ass leftist going around being like, "Haha, for Christmas I want to eat the pigs. Haha, for Christmas I want a head of a Nazi under my tree." Haha. It's like, shut the fuck. Idiots. What a waste of time. What a waste of activism, bro. It's silly. Someone said disturbing ? Terrifying ? This is amazing. Hard eyes. Jeez. Yeah. They probably found supremacist or ICE agent homes and started giving them as early Xmas cards. Not mad at it. I mean, people. So someone said, "So what is this, a crime?" I mean, I guess leaving Christmas cards is not a crime, but this seems personal. They know that I don't know about that. What a kind and harmless act of solidarity. Someone said, "Yucaipa regularly has Proud Boy parades. Let them be scared." Wow. Okay. Is it Antifa? So the masked men are taking hardworking people from their jobs are okay, but this is scary. Okay? Yeah, exactly. They left a note and y'all scared, laughing face, no crime committed or nothing, but y'all scared because they got mask on, crying, laughing, crying face. Yeah. So that was about it for the broadcast today, everyone. We're going to end it here. It's been great. This was actually a very fun broadcast. Thank you, everyone, for joining me in chat today. It's been a good day and it's been a good week, and we are going into the holidays. So we got to definitely be careful, and I want to wish everyone safe and happy holidays. I don't know if I'll be streaming next week because it will be the holiday, but I wouldn't see why I wouldn't be able to stream. So catch me here Sundays afternoons every week. I stream politics about the Inland Empire. Everyone have a good night and take care. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for hanging out with me. My name's Angelina Tucci. My YouTube page is Angelina M. Tucci. I'm also on Instagram as Angelina M. Tucci if you want to follow me there. Everyone have a good night. Peace out.